Hey guys, welcome to Comic Book Girl Named Teen Diary series. It's been a minute since my last entry. This diary series, or this diary entry, is sponsored by the James Last Band album Seduction. I bought this for $1.99 at Amoeba Records. I don't know if you guys ever go and buy just random fucking old vinyl because you're just like, what the fuck is this? This is $1. And then you go buy it and you take it home and you're like, oh, this is so fucking retarded and awesome. I've been really enjoying this situation. I actually listened to it while I was cleaning up my house. I got a little overwhelmed because I'm like getting ready to launch this Watchmen box and like there's like all this shit going on and like things are a little bit behind schedule, and so I was like, I was like freaking out. And so when I freak out, then I'm like, oh, clean your house, bitch, and then you'll like fucking feel a little better. So I did clean my house, and I do feel better. I feel like once I get that done, finally did my floors. Fuck, man, it's like it was getting bad. I was just like, ugh. But I was doing Doom Club, and we just finished Doom Club. Yay! All right, it's awesome. But during that, like, dude, like the last few weeks was just like, oh, like a fucking marathon to like get it done, and it was a real challenge for me to do the class. Like, it was a really challenging class for me, and it was a lot of fun though. It was just like, it was awesome. But I've been kind of decompressing because it was like a lot of work. But like I did it, and like now I'm getting ready to do my next fucking one. You know, we're gonna do Watchmen Club next, but first I gotta launch our Watchmen Club deal. And by the way, all you guys on Patreon, you're going to be getting a coupon, and you'll be getting like early access and shit like that. So but you know, we'll be posting about that later. But it should be up and running pretty soon. So you know, wish me luck. You know, it's been kind of a slog. Everything takes like 4 times longer than you want it to. That's just like the rule in life. That's what I found is being an adult. It's like everything takes 4 times as long as you want it to, and you're like, fuck, this took way longer than I wanted it to, and you're like, fuck. I'm just gonna deal with it. So updates on what's been going on. So we have filmed a Mother review. We posted about it earlier, and we just did a reshoot today. We added some stuff in, like we were looking at the shoot, and I was like, oh, I didn't say this quite right, or like, oh, I wish I had said this, and so, you know, we're just like, okay, fuck it, let's just do a thing. So I had to put, you know, all my shit back on, get in there, and talk about it. But I think that we nailed it. I'm really excited to see what Tyson comes up with tomorrow. By the time I see him, I'm sure we'll have a lot of work done on it. So I'm really looking forward to that. I feel like we're going to have one of the only positive reviews of the movie, because everybody else just seems to reject it outright, and I think that there's a lot of reasons for that, and I don't know, I think that that's a fucking sick movie, and I had a lot of fun watching it, and it was like, I mean, all Aronofsky's movies are really fucking weird, and they always make you feel uncomfortable. And, you know, I'm down for an uncomfortable, surrealist experience. I'm down for religious allegories. I'm down for, you know, anthropological fucking movie. Like, I'm down for, like, all the shit that he put in this movie. I was just like, this is really, like, up my alley. Like, I'm totally down for it. So, yeah, I'm really excited with how that is coming along. So that should be out pretty soon. Hopefully before the weekend. We'll see, you know. I mean, these things just take time. Fuck, I need to plug in my dude here real quick. Hold on, guys. Ugh, a little bit of a mess. Alright. Alright. We're locked and loaded. Okay, so we can keep talking. Yeah, I did some digging on Aronofsky himself. I hadn't really looked him up. I haven't done my research on him before, but learning about him, I can totally see why, like, I could see Jennifer Lawrence, like, totally, like, being like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna make a crazy movie with this guy and, like, get in a fucking relationship with him. Like, I totally see it. Like, I'm like, yeah, girl, I fucking get it. Because, you know, she's fucking smart. I think that Jennifer Lawrence is, I don't know, a little smarter than she lets on. And I don't think that she's a vapid celebrity, like, A-lister. I think that she's very much, like, horrified by being an A-lister in a lot of ways, and that she's this actress, and this is where she is, and this is what she's doing. But it's just, like, in a lot of ways, like, that amount of fame is, like, really fucking horrifying. So I'm just, like, kind of like, you know, get it, girl. Like, I'm watching you. Like, you're doing a good job, but it fucking sucks. Like, but you can't complain about it, because you're like, I'm an A-list celebrity, boo-hoo, I'm fucking super hot, you know. But, But I think she's really interesting. I think she's one to watch. And so I've been kind of watching her and seeing, you know, I heard that her and Aronofsky got together and then they made this movie. And I mean, as far as I know, they're still together. I don't know how long that's going to last. But I think it's really cool that these two came together and, like, he was like, pitched her. He's like, this is my movie. This is why I want to do this. And, like, you know, it has all of the things that he's interested in. Like, I found out that he and this is going to be in the review, but I found out that he majored in anthropology when he was in college, and so it's like, okay, well then you can definitely see the anthropological like thing, the development of human society, like okay, and then also you know he's interested in the Abrahamic, you know, monotheistic religions, and so there's that stuff in there. And then there's also like his environmental stuff, you know. And so I'm sure he was just like, oh, you know, tell her all this stuff, you know. And he's like, we're gonna make this fucking movie. It's gonna be about all this shit. And like she was just like, dude, okay, you know, like let's do it. And she wanted a challenge too, you know. And this is a very challenging role. I feel like big ups to Jennifer Lawrence for taking this on, because taking on like the divine feminine, you know, and like I'm going to be the alchemical like divine feminine role, like that's got to affect your life in really weird ways. Like I'm sure, like because every time I feel like you take on a role, like I mean, reality is really plastic. I got that from Grant Morrison. He said reality is very plastic, and I believe him because I've seen it happen in my own life where you write in a storyline or something and then you realize like just how true it is later or how it comes to be true later, and you just like once you the roles you take very much influence weird things going on in your life. So I can't, I mean, and of course like we live in a society, humanity, where it's just like, dude, I mean, it kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say it. I'll get in trouble. I shouldn't say it. But I really feel for her taking on this role, and I hope that she knew what she was getting into. I'm sure she did. But also, I mean, I think that they were kind of taken aback by the you know, the hate for this film. But I feel like, dude, you guys didn't expect this. Like what you're making, like people are totally not gonna like this. Like I like it. I get what you're doing, but most people aren't gonna fucking be down for this sort of stuff, you know, like they just can't handle it. It's a very unflattering mirror to humanity, and so humanity's not going to be like, oh, we love this movie, you know. So, you know, big ups to her. You know, we'll see if they make another movie together, but I think that what they created was really cool, and it was definitely like a collaboration. It's like, whereas the movie's definitely about like it's his movie and it's all these things that he wants to talk about. It's like the whole thing is framed on Jennifer Lawrence's face. I mean, fucking shit, man. I mean, like, you can tell that the love that he has for her by seeing the way that he films her. I mean, he makes her look amazing. So it's like, I don't know, it's cool. So I cheers to them. Cheers to our Mother review. It's coming out soon. A lot of people have been asking me about Blade Runner 2049 or whatever the fuck. I'll see it on Saturday. Seeing it with some peeps, some new peeps. Hopefully they're cool peeps. Maybe meet some, I don't know, trying to find some new social circles, you know. We'll see how it goes. You know, I like the director, obviously, Villeneuve. He's going to be directing Dune, so it's like, I like him. I think that he's really talented. I don't necessarily think that we need a Blade Runner sequel, and I think that the original Blade Runner movie is a very flawed film, and I think that, like, it looks amazing. It creates this amazing world, this atmosphere. It's like the atmosphere is so good in it, and like the look and the designs. I mean, it really takes you there, and I mean, just like practical effects and just like the way, just the aesthetics of the film are just like fucking mind blowing. But the film itself, like, there's pacing issues. That's why it's been cut a million different times. Like, it's, you know, it's got its flaws. It's one of those movies, like, I don't really want to watch it all the time because it's so fucking long, and I'm always just like, find myself like falling asleep during it. So I usually put it on when I'm like sick or something, and I'm just like falling out of consciousness. I'm just like taking naps and just like waking up and be like, cool, and then I go back to sleep. So we'll see how it goes. I'll be touching in with you guys, touching base with you guys to let you know how I felt about it, of course. Also, fun fact. Fun fact. I've been rewatching Death Note again. After I saw the movie, I was just like, I needed to wash the bad taste out of my mouth, the American fucking live action garbage. And so I started watching the anime again, and then I like just got hooked, and I've just been watching like a few episodes every night, you know, at night before I leave the studio. And so yeah, it's so cool. Like I just think that Death Note is, it's on Netflix. You should definitely check it out if you haven't. It's like a just such a story that you could only get in from Japanese animation. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get the story anywhere else. It's really fucking cool. I really like it. And I think it's cool that it's like your main character is a fucking serial killer. Like Light Yagami is a fucking serial killer and he's a sociopath. And you're kind of seeing all this through his eyes. And so it's kind of like this, like American Psycho meets like Dexter, you know, because he's like punishing the wicked and like criminals. He's killing criminals. But he's still fucking serial killer. And also, like, he's more American Psycho because he is a sociopath and he's like, he doesn't give a fuck. I mean, he ends up letting his dad die and it's just like fine with it. He's like, doesn't fucking care. Like, he just doesn't give a shit. And his dad was like a super cool dude. He was like awesome. So it's just like, lets his sister get kidnapped. Like, or I don't think he let his sister get kidnapped, but it's like, you know, his family gets involved and like, he didn't give a fuck. You know, he's willing to sacrifice anybody. And you know, he's like manipulating all these people, and it's just like fascinating to watch. And then you see him up against L, you know, and they have their whole thing, and like he's like a fucked up Sherlock Holmes type, you know, he's eating candy and shit, and like they have this like really great like, you know, cat and mouse game that they're playing. But then it's like then it goes on, and like it drags somewhere in the middle here and there, you know, when you get to the company group, whatever. But overall, it's just like fuck, man, this series is a lot of fun. I love that it's just one season. I love that it just like tells its story and that's it and it's done and it's like 36 episodes, like, and that's a lot. So I don't know, it's really satisfying. So I've been enjoying Death Note. I've been enjoying animation in general. Also on the animation front, I watched Rick and Morty season 3. Finished that. Bought it on Amazon and then just been fucking popping those off. And I've gone back and I've watched it a little bit more. I love Rick and Morty. I think it's really fucking good. Like, I know that I've been seeing a lot of articles out there that are like, oh, Rick and Morty fans are fucking assholes. You know, fuck you, Rick and Morty fans. And it's just like, it's all this backlash of people just being like, fuck you, Rick and Morty fans. You think you're so smart? Well, you're not. You know, it's just like, let somebody fucking like something. And I think that, you know, a lot of it comes from like, you know, Rick and Morty. Like Rick is all about like, you know, fuck normies and like normie shit, and like, you know, there's just it's very nihilistic. Nothing matters, and so you know, you have all these fans, I guess, who are just like, yeah, whatever. You know, they're like emulating Rick. They're just like, whatever, nothing matters. Fuck this, you know. Like, so people are like, oh, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with like all these little people, little Rick and Morty fans. Like, I think it's great. I think that I think it's really interesting the messages and the ideas that they're spreading around. I see a lot of stuff in there that they put in there that I'm like, like I agree with that. There's so much stuff. Like, one of my favorite things that I caught was in the first episode, in the first pilot, or not pilot, but in the first episode of the season, when they're in his brain, like Rick's brain, with that bug guy, and the bug guy's trying to get him to give up his formula for the portal gun. And like, he's like looking at these two other memories, like, oh, here's a memory of you from 9/11, and then here's a memory of you something else, and then here's a memory of you in the middle, you know. And if you listen, like, you know, you see the 9/11 Rick who's like standing over there, and he's like standing in his like bathrobe, you know, like just like looking at his TV, like, you know, like we all were if you were around for 9/11 and you were sentient and you were like watching the fucking TV. And then if you notice though, like right when the scene ends and they're leaving, like you can kind of barely hear 9/11 Rick, and 9/11 Rick is just like, they're gonna use this as an excuse to take away our freedoms, you know. It's just like, oh no. It's just like, oh, you fucking put it in there, like, yes, like, oh, I love it. I love it. I like that. I need to go back and like, I, you know, watch the last one because when they're flying through, there's so much great animation that last episode when he's fighting the president, and like they're flying through all this like bullshit that's like this hidden, you know, it's kind of like a Smithsonian of fucked up American shit, you know. And I definitely saw the Kubrick moon landing set in there. I didn't catch everything else. I need to go back and like try to like pause it and like catch it. But the animation was just like really inventive. It's really fun. I really love these characters. I love that it went from like the first episode, you know, Rick, spoilers, you know, Rick fucking takes over as the de facto patriarch of the family and gets Jerry fucking booted out, you know, gets Jerry kicked out on the streets. And then the rest of the season, it's like, oh, it goes, and then at the very end, like, they tie it back up, and then Beth's like, okay, she gets back with Jerry. And so I love seeing that, like, that was so cool, because it's like you start off with this family, and they're like the typical dysfunctional animation family that you see, you know, where it's like these two parents, they're together, but they don't really necessarily want to be together. Like, the guy's a fucking idiot, you know, like, the husband's an idiot. But in this cartoon series, you know, it's like the wife's like, no, he really is an idiot, and that she just like wants to fucking divorce him at some point, like, is really questioning everything because of like how they got together. And so, I mean, they talk about real things. They talk about divorce in this. I mean, they talk about, like, I mean, all sorts of stuff. I love Morty this season, his character arc. Morty's just, like, getting so much smarter. I'm so proud of Morty for, like, you know, becoming a little wiser as time goes on, you know. It's like, good for you, Morty. He's, like, talking shit a lot more and, like, you know, having better comebacks and stuff like that. And then, you know, and then I like that Rick at the end, he just has to accept Jerry. You know, he just has to accept Jerry. But the thing is by accepting Jerry, he's also like accepting that he's like the father-in-law who like lives in the fucking garage, you know. It's like he's not the ruler. But like people like Rick don't make a great ruler, obviously, because he's a fucking crazy person and he's just like out of his fucking mind. He's like a weird, I don't know. He's Rick. And I really like Rick a lot. I saw this really funny meme that was like all these, you know, Rick and Morty dudes, you know, think they're Rick when they're really just fucking Jerry's. And I was just like, oh shit, so true. I know a lot of dudes who want to be a Rick, and it's like, you're a Jerry, dude. You're a Jerry. I love you. You're sweet. You're not a Rick. You're not a Rick. I feel, but then it's like I'm the asshole because I feel like I'm like Rick, you know. Although I'm not as fucking, definitely not as nihilistic as he is yet, you know. But I feel like, you know, I feel like I can ease into that when I get older and just start giving, because I was, you know, I give less and less fucks as I get older. And I already, in a lot of ways, don't give a lot of fucks. It's weird, the fucks that I give. You know, some fucks I'm like, oh, I give too many fucks. And then some things I don't give a fuck at all. It's like trying to find that balance. But, yeah, so I really love this season. Pickle Rick was obviously fucking awesome. It's like really funny. Pickle Rick? Okay. I mean, I love that Rick literally gets himself into a pickle, and he has to get himself out of a pickle. You know, it's just like, like, fuck you, that's so funny. Like, because I use that term all the time. Like, got myself in a real pickle, you know. Like, I've got myself in a pickle pretty, you know, recently, and it's just like, sucks being in a pickle. There he is. Rick's in a fucking pickle. Like, all right, cool. Yeah. So, and Summer, you know, I love Summer. She's great, too. I love them all. I think they're all fucking sweet. Jerry's really funny. Like, there's this song I found on YouTube. It's called, what is it called? It's by, like, Amo, A-M-N-O. And it's, like, human music. That's what it's called. It's called human music. And it takes a clip from, like, I don't know, maybe season 2, where like Jerry's in the car and he's like, gotta relax, and then it turns on a radio and it's like, now back to Earth Radio, here's some human music, you know. And he's like, human music, huh, I like it, you know. It's just like, you fucking idiot, like, you fucking idiot, like, it's fucking alien, like, human music, you like it, like, you fucking piece of shit. It just makes me laugh so hard. So, and then the song like goes, and it's just like somebody just made a song that goes after like that sampling. But it's so funny, and I listen to it a lot. And every time I hear him go like, human music, I like it. You know, I just fucking die. Like, it's just so perfect, so perfectly stupid. It's adorable. But, all right, well, that's about it. I talked about a lot of stuff. Talked about Rick and Morty, talked about Death Note, talked about Blade Runner, talked about Mother. So, I'll keep you guys informed about Blade Runner. This is like the part of the job that I really don't like. It's just like, what if I hate it? You know, like, I'm probably not gonna love it. Whatever. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful night. I'm gonna try to go to bed soon. And I will talk to you soon.